reality is gas prices should be much more expensive than they are because we're not incorporating the true damage to the environment and the hidden costs of mining oil and transporting it to the US. Whenever you have an unpriced externality, you have a bit of a market failure, to the degree that eternality remains unpriced. I do think there is a lot of potentials if you have a compelling product and people are willing to pay a premium for that. I think that is what Apple has shown. You can buy a much cheaper cell phone or laptop, but Apple's product is so much better than the alternative, and people are willing to pay that premium. An asteroid or a supervolcano could certainly destroy us, but we also face risks the dinosaurs never saw: an engineered virus, nuclear war, inadvertent creation of a micro black hole, or some as yet unknown technology could spell the end of us. I think there are more politicians in favor of electric cars than against. There are still some that are against, and I think the reasoning for that varies depending on the person, but in some cases, they just don't believe in climate change. They think oil will last forever. If you want to grow a giant redwood, you need to make sure the seeds are okay, nurture the sapling, and work out what might potentially stop it from growing all the way along. Anything that breaks it at any point stops that growth. I'm interested in things that change the world or that affect the future, and wondrous, new technology where you see it, and you're like, wow, how did that even happen? How is that possible? Boeing just took $20 billion in 10 years to improve the efficiency of their planes by 10%. That's pretty lame. I have a design in mind for a vertical liftoff supersonic jet that would be a really big improvement. I wouldn't say I have a lack of fear. In fact, I'd like my fear emotion to be less because it's very distracting and fries my nervous system. My vision is for a fully reusable rocket transport system between Earth and Mars that is able to refuel on Mars. This is very important, so you don't have to carry the return fuel when you go there. With artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Doesn't work out. I don't spend my time pontificating about high-concept things. I spend my time solving engineering, manufacturing problems. There's nothing. I've bought everything I want. I don't like yachts or anything. You know, I'm not a yacht person, and I've got pretty much the nicest plane I'd want to have. In order for us to have a future that's exciting and inspiring, it has to be one where we're a spacefaring civilization. I had so many people try to talk me out of starting a rocket company. It was crazy. If you think back to the beginning of cell phones, laptops, or really any new technology, it's always expensive. I'm a Silicon Valley guy. I just think people from Silicon Valley can do anything. The key to making things affordable is design and technology improvements, as well as scale. Physics is really figuring out how to discover new things that are counterintuitive, like quantum mechanics. It's really counterintuitive. The key to making things affordable is design and technology improvements, as well as scale. Man has the power to act as his own destroyer, and that is the way he has acted through most of his history. The problem with car dealerships is you've already decided what you want to buy before you even go there, and you're really just going there to talk through some annoying negotiation. Over time, I think we will probably see a closer merger of biological intelligence and digital intelligence. Trying to read our DNA is like trying to understand software code, with only 90% of the code riddled with errors. It's very difficult in that case to understand and predict what that software code is going to do. I'm personally a moderate and a registered independent, so I'm not strongly Democratic or strongly Republican. If anyone thinks they'd rather be in a different part of history, they're probably not a very good student of history. Life sucked in the old days. People knew very little, and you were likely to die at a young age of some horrible disease. You'd probably have no teeth by now. It would be particularly awful if you were a woman. I just want to retire before I go senile, because if I don't retire before I go senile, then I'll do more damage than good at that point. If you had to buy a new plane every time you flew somewhere, it would be incredibly expensive. Click link in bio for free study notes. Limited spots. Follow us now. Study Note 10.